Well, now, on this video in less than 15 minutes time, I'm going to show you how to be ahead of others as far as the money is concerned. There's something called the psychology of money. What exactly do you do and become ahead of others at all the time? All right? Now, this is the question. As we go to the next point, now the point is this: I want us to have an agreement. I want us to sign a deal right now with you and me. All right? See, I'm going to use the 15 minutes and show you the best value of your time. And again, promise me, and again, if I do that, you're going to like the video. Make sure that you subscribe. And for now, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and leave me a comment on the comment section. Let's get the point, okay? Now, here you are. You would like to be ahead of others at all the time. So what exactly do you do? See, you don't start there. Where do you start? You actually find out where are the others. Okay. Now, first of all, let's answer. Who are others? Who are others? Okay. Who are they? Who are the others? And where are they? Where are they? Because if you know where are they, first of all, if you know who are they are and where are they, then you can avoid being there. And again, you can avoid them because where they are is not where you want to be. You know what they say, birds of a feather does what? Beautiful, flock together. Now, see, how do you become ahead of others at all the time? Number one, see, the first point, you identify where are they so that you can be ahead of them. Okay, when we are talking about finance here, we are talking about finance, we are talking about money, okay? You ask yourself, the circle that you're having, let's say your circle is the others. Let's say you here, okay? And then you are encircled by other guys here, you know, those are the others, okay? And you realize in your circle, the guys here, none has 100,000 in his savings or her savings. None, including you. This is you here. None has 100K in their savings. And then you ask yourself, me in the midst of others, nobody here can actually borrow 100,000. Therefore, not me, but we are on a crisis. So how can I be ahead of others? Therefore, identify what others are doing so you do differently. Or identify what others are not doing and you do it. All right? Let's say these others, they do not have a working budget. All right? Let's say these others, they actually throw parties left, right, and center. Let's say these others are people who are not serious with life. What do I mean by being serious in life? These are people who do not even consume the infotainment. Then what do? Let's say these others, there are people who, let's say these are your fellow teachers. Let's say you are a teacher. These are fellow teachers. You earn an average of 30,000 per month, 30K per month, but you want to be ahead of them. What do? We still with the same amount of money. Now, when you listen to what they say, they always proclaim this money is less. So you don't jump into that bandwagon of saying this money is less. It might be less truly, but now how do you manage that what you have before you get that what you're fighting for? So they complain about this 30. Then identify, why do we complain? We complain because the lifestyle that we live is of 30,000. Therefore, we are left with cash flow, which is zero. But if we can shuka us a little bit, shuka in Swahili simply is that to go a little bit down or below that what I can afford, therefore it means I can be able to create a surplus. Despite us crying that this amount of money that we earn, if I can go a little bit, to go that a little bit, it's called a sacrifice. It's a discomfort. It is not comfortable. It is not, has never been comfortable. Let's say these people usually buy a lunch each and every day. Maybe you buy a lunch worth like 100 shilling each and every day. Or maybe there is a coffee whereby we usually buy each and every morning. Because, hey, no, it's not, it's a custom here at around 10 a.m. Teachers drink coffee. Probably you're buying. I'm just using an example of teachers anyway. It can be in an office. It can be in any given. So it's a custom. For example, I remember back when I was doing the interior design, when I was painting, go check my 3 years older video. You're gonna check me doing those jobs. Yeah, I remember there was this ladies used to come with, maybe chai. Chai is like tea or uji, porridge or whatever. We can take it just a pre-lunch meal so that we can wait for the lunch. And I could say everybody stopping working and going grab it. And I was like, okay, I'm not hungry. I'm okay. For God's sake, I took my breakfast. So why would I go and consume my 60 shillings or 80 shillings? How about I save it for the next 6 days? I have 480 Kenyan shillings. How about I deposit that in a money market fund? Now, that is what we call doing differently. Yes, it is fun when you sit down, all of you, and you're drinking that coffee, you're having fun and you're chatting. It is nice. That's what our body wants. That is a comfort. But now, you don't want to end up like others. Now, what do? You actually identify what they do. What's that commonality that they have and try to seclude yourself from that commonality. If you know that your others usually drink each and every weekend and you drink 10,000, 2,000 or whichever the amount of money, cut on that. You can show up to the place, but instead of drinking the 10,000, drink 8. The next week, drink 6, drink 4. And if it's be possible by God's grace, you get off the drinking, and then you accompany yourself with people who don't. So if you deduct those kind of things so that you appear different, you embark on a savings, you embark on an investment, you actually do not actually flock with these guys in terms of what they do. Therefore, you actually isolating yourself. And let me tell you one thing. The Bible says that we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but the principalities in the kingdom, the rulers of darkness. Life is very spiritual that you think it is physical. I'm not preaching, I'm just telling you the truth. The moment you start, and I'm telling you this, whether you are a believer or not, if you know, oh my, I really hope I'll be able to put this point correctly. If you snatch yourself from what the majority are doing, if you get yourself out of the average population, there is that force, kind of spiritual force, there is that kind of thing that tells you go back, and they can actually notice. And once they notice, they start giving you names. Oh, you're becoming proud. I don't know what you're viewing yourself as. You think you're more important than others. Now, I remember I used to be told by my friends back then, you know what? You're not eating your lunch because you want to be wealthy, you want to build a home. Like just, sarcasm and paradox and all those kind of things. But I knew one thing. You know what, guys? You just hang on. You just hang on. One day you'll know that what I'm doing is the appropriate one. And the moment you snatch yourself that way, even if you're just saving by yourself secretly, you just find somebody here saying, hey, nowadays you're so different. What's happening here? You want to show us that how you get on a thing, because this thing is it has some powers and spiritualism and kind of a thing. So the moment you snatch yourself out of that and you start doing the different thing continuously, do you know what we say? And I want you to get this correctly. Just the way we can compound our money. We usually talk about compound interest here. Just the way we can compound our money, we can compound our habits. I repeat, just the way we can compound our money, we can as well compound our habits. If you adjust, you know what they say? If you can improve your life, I know who said this, to give the credit to, all the credit goes to them. If you can be able to adjust yourself in your life or only 1%, just 1%. You improve yourself 1%. Let's say you have a problem with savings. Just slightly try to save as little. Let's say you save 0. Try to save, maybe let's say you get paid per day. Let's say you get paid 1,000 shillings per day and usually save close to nothing. Just save 50 shillings only. Just 50 shillings out of 1,000 shillings. Just 50 shillings. That is like adjusting yourself with 1%. That 150 shillings today, improve yourself tomorrow. Try as much as you can to improve yourself, You're actually compounding habit. You compound habit. It's no longer become a habit, becomes a character. And by the time now you realize you've already created a whole new being that is far much different from who you are. And with the day that you'll turn around to look where you've come from, you'll actually be shocked. You'll be mesmerized by the kind of a greatness that you've actually amassed towards yourself. So this making yourself that you're ahead of others as far as the finances are concerned is when you do not jump into the bandwagon of complainery. You don't get into them. Is it complainery? Is it an English name? Does it exist actually? I know complain. Okay, hope you got my point. Now, you do not get into the bandwagon of complaining. We earn less. It may be less, but let me ask a question. It's always good to have this option. What if you never get any addition? How will you survive? And what if you get any addition? If you do not get any addition, how can you survive with this? How can you grow yourself? How can you propagate yourself to the next level? Therefore, you need to adjust 1, 2, and 3. All right? So what if the things happens that you get an additional salary? Then it means you're going to be better off. Why? Because you now have a character that you can help you to actually work towards yourself, because the salary has been increased. Therefore, you can be able to push yourself to the next level. If you do nothing, let me show you what will happen if you do nothing. Let's say you complain you earn less money. And if you complain that you earn less money, therefore, you justify yourself why you do not save, and therefore it means you won't save. And what happens now? Maybe let's say you have an addition of 5,000. Now you earn 35,000. If you earn 35,000, probably what happens, because you do not have yourself the character of savings, does not exist in your language, then what happens now? See, you're gonna up your game. See, this is the lifestyle that you're living, all right? The moment, let's say, whatever you're earning, and that's what you're consuming is the same. Then there is an addition of 5,000. Boom. Then there is more income than what you can spend. So this gap between the spending and the earning is the 5,000 that has been added. Now, guess what happens now? Remember, you do not have a character. You said you're earning less. You cannot sacrifice. The language of sacrifice does not happen. You have what we call the instant gratification. You want to get that gratification now. So what do? You improve your what? You improve your expenditure. And once you improve your expenditure to meet your income, guess what happens now? You go back to earning a zero. And that explains why there was a time you're earning 5,000, now you earn 50, but you still complain of the same problems. You cannot, how can I frame it? You cannot fulfill a human desire. For example, if I ask you how much would you say is enough money to you? We don't have a definite figure. What we do is to work with what we have and aim to the next level and still appreciate that what you have so that you can have the gratitude in your life. So that way you can be able to push yourself to the next level. So for you to be different from the rest of the people, identify what they do it differently. When I say do it different, I don't mean like you do worse. You do better than they do, and actually change the way you behave, change how you conversate, change on where you hang around, change on how you consume your money, change on how you perceive life, change on how you perceive that how much you earn in a month, change on whom you get what I'm saying. So when you adjust all those periphery things, before you even you know what? I actually had a guy, my mentor. I have two mentors. I have the virtual one whom I've never met, and I have the physical one whom I meet. So the physical one told me that, you know what, people tend to think that being rich and wealthy and successful simply comes by virtue of you making more money. True, it has a very big factor, it's true, but there's some other underlying issues on your periphery that are so much important, like making sure that you wake up in the morning, you spread your bed, making sure that if you do pray, you pray, and you actually commit yourself to that. Make sure that you show up to a gym if you show up to a gym. Make sure that you eat appropriately and rightly, making sure that at least you do that what is right and appropriate as far as your life is concerned. See, when you actually handle those things, for example, let's say you live in a bed sitter, you cannot even handle that bed sitter that you have. Why? Because it is not your house. Even if the wall collapses, you simply know that I'm going to call my landlord. If you don't take care of that wall, it is not yours, but you take care of those walls, you take care of those tiles, you take care of that toilet, take care of those bulbs and whatever the things, like you handle as if it's yours. Guess what happens now? Karma is real. You attract that karma, and if you cannot be responsible with a single bed sitter, who tells you that you're going to be responsible if you access a one bedroom? That is exactly what happens now. Be sure responsible with that what you have as you move to the next level, so that you can be able to amass that character that is appropriate. When you take care of those small things and always be this individual who questions everything, that's another thing that can push you, ahead of others. When you question things, you don't question things to contradict them or push them or fight them. You question things to understand. Did you get the difference? See, there are people who question things to fight them and to justify why they don't need them. Question things so that you can understand them. Question in the name of finding more answers so that you can embrace that what people believe. And that way you'll be able to get the answers that you're looking for. You get what I'm saying? So the issue of just complaining and just feeling comfortable and swimming with the majority and what have you, if you just get into that river, will actually take you to the destination of average. And that's where a majority of the people tend to reach as far as the destination is concerned. So stay put, be vigilant, and I'm telling you, if you can actually incorporate those two signs, you can actually achieve a lot of things as far as life is concerned. Now, there we are. Those are 14 minutes with you, or for you, that I've shared with you that important message. And I promised with you that if you did that, you're going to subscribe. Then go ahead, because you signed the deal. Hey, come on, don't violate the deal. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, and make sure that you leave me a comment on the comment section. That's Good Joseph speaking, and see you the next one. And if you'd like to get my services or my booklets, don't forget that number is on the description of this specific video. Nice to goodbye. See you the next one.